What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Hour presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. And joining us this Friday evening to play some poll perception is our guest, Ryan Hammer. He's the host of the Offseason Podcast and the man behind social content here at FanDuel. What is up, Ryan?
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys.
Ryan.
We're excited
Happy
to
to
have you on.
have you,
Let's
Ryan.
go.
We got Maria in the chat saying fun Friday with FanDuel and FYF. Indeed, it is.
Facts.
And we're going to be playing a fun game today. And we got Kevin here saying bird up. What's up,
Bird
Kev?
up.
Bird up indeed.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ryan, like I said, today
Your
we brought you here to play our game, Poll Perception. It is our OG game, our original game. Before we dive into the excuse me.
Are you all right over there?
The kombucha burger.
It's
It's the kombucha I had for lunch. It's just messing me up over here. It's getting it.
My goodness.
Jay's in here saying, let's go. Let's go.
There you
What's
go.
up, Jay? Welcome in. Today, guys, we are playing Poll Perception. It is the game that tests your knowledge of the public perception of the fantasy football landscape. So we're going to be testing how well you know what the public thinks about some players. Before we do that, guys, though, for everyone that's here watching, you're already watching on the FanDuel Twitch or YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitch. We are here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, but there are a ton of other awesome content creators going live on YouTube and Twitch for FanDuel, so you don't want to miss out on those either. Guys, if you're ready, I think we go ahead and
I'm not ready, actually. I'm not ready yet.
Josh is a little scared. Josh is a little scared
I
today.
want to take a moment, because I'm a little nervous because Ryan seemed really confident coming into this game.
I didn't expect that.
Whoa.
We all know I'm going to win. But listen, there was a couple things that broke the last couple hours. Harris Campbell and Michael Pittman are both now questionable for week 2 against the Rams.
Ooh.
That's fine. Look out for that. Marquise Brown, he's also questionable.
No.
Sammy Watkins.
Exactly.
Oh, God. I'm so happy that we can actually start Sammy Watkins in 2021. This makes me so happy.
Oh, man.
Let me ask you, Ryan. I think you can kind of get the vibe from Simon and JL there, but if Marquise Brown's out, you putting Sammy Watkins into your fantasy lineup?
It's pretty situational, but probably like the Chiefs are known to have an amazing defense in those primetime games, especially. Like I think it'll lean towards more of a shootout than anything else, than scoreless. So I would go with it. Yeah, and a good flex option for sure.
Yeah, we all know that Sammy Watkins is the week 1 king, but I think he can provide some value week 2. So, guys, I'm putting
Sammy Watkins.
Let's say Marquise Brown is out and Pittman and who's the other receiver for the Colts that was
Harris
Campbell.
So Campbell and Pittman are both out. Are you starting Zach Pascal or Sammy Watkins? Which one of those? So assuming all 3 of those players are out, who are you putting in your starting lineup?
God, I hate that.
For me, it's Sammy, but that's 100% personal bias. I've done no analysis to get to that answer. But I think if I did, I think Sammy's probably still the right answer. I like what you said about that game, Ryan. I think that game script benefits the receivers a little bit more. So I'll go Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyone going Pascal? Oh my gosh, it's 2021 and we got a universal start Sammy Watkins over somebody. That is beautiful.
He may or may not have gone to Clemson at the same time as Simon and I.
Yeah, he did.
I can't be confirmed nor denied.
So there's a little bias going on here. There's a little
bit of bias. Kev saying sup FanDuel wants to know is Daddy FanDuel in the chat watching? Kev
Daddy
seeing what he can get away with. And Anthony said, "What up, players?" Did Josh shower? Because your hat's off.
Listen, I'm not wearing the hat. You know my rules. You know my rules, Anthony. If I'm wearing a hat, I didn't shower. If I'm not, I did not. I have showered.
I did not.
I'm a simple man. I'm a simple
Josh
man.
Fuster.
And just one more thing I wanted to mention. We talked about it during our last stream earlier at 3 o'clock, but Josh Jacobs is officially out. If the news broke during our stream. Ryan, I actually just wanted to ask you real fast. Do you want Kenyon Drake in your lineup now? Are you confident about Kenyon Drake?
I feel like I have a personal relationship with Kenyon Drake because last year his volume was so high, but the efficiency was so poor. But he won me so many matchups because they would just give him goal line carries until he smashed it in from the 1 yard line. So I have a personal tie to him. I would start him 100% this week.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, he had an insane amount of yards last season
for no reason.
Insane amount of carries.
Which did validate.
Sorry, not on the clock, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Kenyon Drake.
Josh, are you helping? Are you using us to set your lineups?
No,
Very
that's
thorough.
not what I'm looking at down here at all. I got this this question. It's completely random, I made it up.
I always try not to be too cute with my fantasy lineups. Like sometimes I get too cute and I mess myself up. But this is a situation based on what we saw from the Raiders and how they already used Kenyon Drake last week. He was heavily involved in that receiving game. And I don't believe for a second they're going to give a new Peyton Barber on that team the majority of the carries. And I don't think his receiving work is going anywhere. I am going to start Kenyon Drake over CEH this week, but it is very specific to this week, this matchup, the player, what I saw last week. That's a tough one though, but I would probably pull the trigger and start Drake.
JL, you're making a face down there.
CEH is going against Baltimore.
I know.
Baltimore. I might start Kenyon Drake, and I hate that. I hate that about myself, but I might do it.
Ryan, are you going to be the voice of reason and say no, start your studs, or are you going
Drake,
to go with us?
Well, I see people. That's a weird. It's a theory. I get it, but Drake's playing against the Steelers. No.
Oh, you're right.
So I would go. I would go Clyde.
CEH.
Yeah,
I'm changing my mind. You changed my mind, Ryan.
I still can't decide, but I think I'm leaning CEH. But Drake, man, that's like the line. Yeah, I think that's right where Drake's gonna fall, right in that category of player. Maybe above Damian Harris. We don't have to get into it anymore. We don't have to get into it. That's about where the line is.
Is that your start sit option?
As I say, Josh, you have too many leagues for us to go through all of these.
There are. I will admit though, I went to high school with Kenyon Drake, and so any chance I have to throw him in my lineup,
so you admit it.
I admit it. I am looking for excuses to put Kenyon Drake in my lineup. It's just fun with that personal connection. But I think that's where the line is. That wouldn't be an unreasonable call to put Drake in over CEH this week.
Yeah.
Maria said, in other fantasy news, I won last week in Scott Fishbowl, so that's cool. Nice job, Maria. Congrats on your SFB win. And Rum Boys, what's up, Robbie? And you're saying, streaming you guys to my smart TV, getting ready for tonight. Rum Boys after dark. But it's still giving you all the views and all the watch. Love you, man. Thanks.
Check out Rum Boys After Dark if you haven't.
Yes,
it's a fantastic
check
show.
It out.
We've been on plenty of times. If you check out the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel, you'll see in our guest appearances. There's plenty of Rum Boys After Dark.
So you've seen like Sports Center, right? And you've been to like a really fun party with your friends.
Yes, I have.
Combine the two, and that's what you're gonna get here. Rum Boys After Dark. It's such a good time, right? Yeah,
that's marketing. I like that.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, if you are ready, I say we go ahead and jump into our game of poll perception. Ryan, since you are the guest, I'm going to let you decide. Do you want to go first, second, or third in today's game?
I'll go first. Let's do it. Let's
Ryan's going first.
The cojones on this man.
He's trying to get wild out here. I bet you. I would imagine most guests don't choose first, so I will choose first for that reason.
It's a mixed bag.
The Spider-Man chair, I feel like, gives you so much confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're screwed, JL.
We're so screwed.
John Luke, would you like to go second or third?
I want to go second. You know, I'm channeling my hammer energy.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our first poll. Ryan, this one's coming to you. What you're going to do is guess the percentage of people that took side A in this poll. So this is a PPR Dynasty League. Side A is Cooper Kupp. Side B is T. Higgins. What percentage of people said they would prefer Cooper Kupp in this poll? And for context, all of these were within the last 3 days. So every single one of these polls is within the last 3 days.
Okay, I was going to ask because a lot of, we've seen a lot of rumblings, especially with those Niners and stuff over there. I'm going to lean, it's tough because you go talent over towards youth and stuff. I'm going to lean 60%. I'm going to 60.
60% chose the Kupp side?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
60% from Ryan. John Luke, do you think the actual answer is over or under 60% chose the Cooper side?
I'm going to go under. I think this is probably going to lean towards the Higgins side.
Ooh.
60% from Ryan. JL took the under. And Josh, what are you doing here?
I think Ryan had a great guess here. I think that most people watched the Rams games last weekend. Matthew Stafford's connection with Cooper Kupp was outstanding. I think people are going to just thrive on this and they're going to want Cooper Kupp on their dynasty teams. I know T. Higgins is younger, but then you got the Jamar Chase factor. Is he even the first option on the team going forward? I think that in my heart, it's like 50-50. I think more people are going to pick the Cooper Kupp side of this trade, even though he's a little bit older of an asset. I'm going to take the over. So you split us, Ryan. You split us.
Good
Josh
thing.
taking the over. Yeah, Ryan, you split the room, so at least one of these buffoons isn't getting any points this round.
There you go.
We got some guesses from the chat. First of all, Anthony said 3-5 crew. They are in here. And Ryan, for some context, we are playing on the FanDuel channel, Poll Perception. And usually the chat all gives their own guesses, but for some reason they all banded together and guessed 35%. And it was exactly right on the dot. They nailed it. So now they've got their own crew. But he's guessing 64. And Marie said, where's the rest of the crew? But she's sticking with Anthony on this one. And Tim saying split from the get-go. Okay, the actual percentage of people that chose the Cooper Kupp side of this trade is 45%.
Oh, no!
Wow.
It was 45%. So
I
Ryan,
wrote down 41.
you were within 15 percentage points, so you do get 1 point for
Sure.
being within 15. John Luke, you get 2 for correctly picking the under,
Suck
and
it,
Josh,
I hate this
you
game.
get
I hate this game.
Suck
nothing.
it, Josh.
Doesn't count. Warm up.
So, Ryan, you mentioned
Warm up
talent over age in this.
Well-
If this was you, would you prefer Cooper Kupp or T. Higgins in a dynasty league?
I would lean Cup. I'm thinking perception, most people would because of recency bias. For sure, you kind of mentioned that like Sunday night game with Stafford, the connection. And it's tough because we talk about youth and you talk about Tyler Boyd, also Jamar Chase, and a weak offensive line. You don't know with Burrow just came back also. I just feel like people would go with the safer thing in Dynasty when it's a tricky situation like T. Higgins has. It's not a sure thing like Jamar Chase is because he's so young and you know he's going to be there. So that's why I thought it would have leaned slightly towards Cooper Kupp. But I understand in somewhat. I guess I can understand.
Yeah. What about you guys? Are you guys taking Kupp or Higgins? John Luke.
Oh, I'm taking Higgins all day. Kupp is 27-ish. Higgins 20, getting close to 28. I don't know how young T. Higgins is, but I know he can't be that old because he just came out of Clemson.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going Higgins here. I believe in the talent, and we saw last weekend that he's going to be a factor in this offense.
Yeah, I get that, and I love Higgins. He's 22. I just looked it up. I think I'm going Kupp. I've said it a million times, but it seems like Twitter Dynasty specifically hates 27-year-old wide receivers. But there is still plenty of room for them to be successful, to be elite fantasy options. And especially with the way Cooper Kupp plays, he doesn't rely on his speed or like extreme physicality like some other receivers. This is the type of game that's going to translate well as he gets older and maybe loses a step. It's not like some of these speedster players where we have to worry about if they're going to lose their entire game. So I'm taking Kupp because for the next 3 years, I'm just as confident in him as I am.
President Clemens just called me. He said, your degree is revoked, Simon. You're no longer a Clemson fan.
He's going to have to come take it. He's going to have to come take it from my office.
Wait. The president of Clemson's name is Clemens?
Yes. And he used to be Clemens. He used to be a Towson guy.
And a West Virginia guy.
And a West Virginia guy.
These are all the colleges I like. Simon, it makes so much sense that you choose Cooper Kupp for this trade because we know how you like to build dynasty teams. You like to grab those wide receivers that are producing now, have proven it in the past. They're not too old, but maybe a lot of people are selling them in dynasty.
They're getting there.
Yep.
You get a value.
Getting those
because
discounts.
Of that, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So it makes sense. If I had to choose one, I actually probably would slightly be on the T. Higgins side. I think he's going to produce close to Cooper Kupp throughout the season and will have a longer career. But I figured, I figured that just, again, the recency bias was going to lead this towards Cooper Kupp, and I was wrong.
Same.
Yeah.
Craig in here saying, listening to the car with the kids. Listening to the car with his kids. Listening in the car with his kids. What a way to end the day. Shout out to Craig. Shout out to his kids.
Craig,
thanks for listening.
Shout out Craig's kids. You got a cool dad, guys. Your dad is Jurassic Scoop.
Yeah, that's coolest.
It's really
okay.
So cool.
John Luke, are you ready for your poll?
I'm ready. I nailed that last one so well.
You did. This one is a little bit different than the one we just talked about. This question is, what's Taylor Heineke worth in Dynasty Superflex? Side A is a 2022 first. Side B is 2 2022 seconds. Side C is 1 2022 second. And side D is a 2022 third. So this is all draft picks. What percentage of people said Taylor Heineke was worth a 2022 first round pick in a Dynasty Superflex league, John Luke?
This sucks.
What's he worth, JL? It's easy.
You picked second. You picked
and this was after yesterday's game.
Yes, this was after yesterday's game.
Of course it is, because that makes it
does
suck
matter.
even worse.
This was posted. This was posted after the conclusion of the game, not
Yes.
just closed. So this poll started after the game ended.
All right, I gotta assume 25 across the board here, and then from there, I feel like it's gotta lean. It's gotta lean the latter three options, and so I gotta believe side A is probably the lowest. I'm gonna go with 18%.
JL going with 18% here. Josh, do you think the actual percentage of people that said Taylor Heineke is worth a first round rookie pick in Superflex Dynasty leagues is over or under John Luke's guess of 18%?
18 was so good. It really was. It really was.
Specific too.
No, it's so good because like I could see some people voting for the 2022 first. I mean, just think of what kind
He
of
looks good. He looks really good.
I don't think there's a lot of talent that's expected to come out of this next 2022 class in terms of quarterbacks. There's a couple guys. 2 seconds. He probably got most of the vote if I had to guess. I could see a lot of people just smashing the first after he did look good, like you said, JL. I'll take the under though. I think that 2 seconds and 1 second are going to be the leaders here. But I could see it going both ways. Too, Josh. I don't think a third, though, because I'm just thinking of what you can get in the third round of a rookie draft, and you're not getting any starting quarterbacks.
Even in Superflex, yeah.
Yeah.
So Josh,
you're getting a long shot.
Did you take which?
I'll
did you take
under?
Josh taking under JL's guess of 18%. And Ryan, are you going over or under John Luke's guess?
Math says to go over. There's more percentages, more numbers above. If you just look at it that way, that's tough. The super flex part, I just like right after the game. It's not like the Cooper Cup. We're talking about recency bias. It was a few days ago, or whatever, like, over the course of the week. It's right after the game. I guess it's posted, obviously.
Yeah.
My gut says go under. I'm gonna go under. I was thinking in like the 10 to 15% range, so I'm gonna go under.
We got double unders on your guess, JL.
We have
some guesses in the chat as well. Anthony said 8%. Jurassic Scoop said 40%. And Maria said she's going 12. And Kev saying 52%. So you guys have
looks
two
like some people
unders
are willing
and
to
two
pay.
overs. Yeah.
Some people are willing to pay up for Taylor Heineke. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
if the first though.
The actual percentage of people that chose a 2022 first round pick for Taylor Heineke is 7%. It was 7%.
Yes.
So
That is
John
perfect.
Luke, you get 1 point because you were 11 percentage points away. And Ryan and Josh, you guys each get 2 points for correctly picking the over under on that one.
All right.
Let's
That's
go.
a tough one. Like, so weird. He's just not like, even if the quarterback class isn't that good next year, he's going to be most likely a career backup with starting stints like he is at now. Like, I think people understand that.
Yeah.
But hey, Taylor Heineke, I got to mention, he's been talked up throughout the offseason. And last season, he got to start. He looked good, and he's proving it now. There's a world where he is the starter for the Washington football team going into next season and beyond. There absolutely is.
It's going to be tough to shake that designation, the backup designation. But yeah, I mean, if he keeps performing at that level, I could totally see it.
And from a fantasy perspective, the guy can run too, which is obviously
he was
helps.
throwing bullets, man. He was throwing bullets last night.
He looked good.
How old is he? He's not that super old, right?
If I had to guess, 25.
I don't think he's that old.
So like it's another plus side too. If
28. He's 28.
28. Oh, he's older than I would
He's
have
28.
expected. Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
That is older. Yeah, he's not worth a first.
That changes my vote. Can I change my answer?
Also,
I like
shout out to
7%.
Shout out to Anthony with the guess. 1 percentage point away. You were so close. And Jurassic Scoop said Twitter isn't as crazy as usual. Interesting. They were a little bit less reactionary there. And Joey asking Tim, just letting him know, Tim, are you available to read my fortune later this evening? Tim is getting a reputation now after his fantasy horoscopes that he can read the future. So
check that out.
Anybody who
Twitter
needs to know their future, reach out to Tim Wright. He can let you know your fantasy future. And Tim said, as long as it's a cold Heineke, I'll take 7 of them.
Oh my
7.
God. I mean, how are you going to take 7? Like, they come in 6-packs, first of all. So, like, you're just really
7%.
throwing everything off, all right?
7%.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Well, I bungled that one.
You did bungle that one, but that's okay. After 2 questions, Ryan and JL each have 3 points, and Josh, you are sitting there with 2 points. So it is a close game through 2 questions. But Josh, let's see if you can pull away a little bit with yours.
I'm about to.
See if you can get closer. Your question is, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot going on in this one, Josh. You got unlucky that you picked third. This one is.
I didn't pick anything. Third. I was fourth in the third.
So this one comes from Reddit.
Great pick.
It is a redraft trade. And side A is Darren Waller, Austin Eckler, Jalen Waddle, and Jarvis Landry. Yes. Side B is DeAndre Hopkins, Najee Harris, Antonio Brown, and Tyler Higbee. What percentage of people chose side A in this trade? Take a minute, break it down. There's a lot going on, but this one actually had the most votes out of any of the polls today, for as convoluted as it is. People were
130.
This one had 12 votes. It was the most out of any poll. No, this one had in the 900 range. I forget
Reddit's its own world. That's why.
Compared to
Twitter,
it really is.
Yo, the Reddit questions are always wild.
You get stuff that you can't even figure out, wrap your brain around half the time.
No.
Who put this trade together? Who said, you know what? I got an idea. And they just went into sleep and threw it.
I better get Reddit's opinion on this one.
Yo, you want to switch all our draft picks?
I've taken some time breaking this down, guys, and I think I have a good way to process this real fast. So Austin Eckler and Najee Harris, they're I'm going to put them the same, they get the same score. Antonio Brown's going to outscore Jalen Waddle in a redraft for me. So I'm going to put him a little bit higher. Tyler Higbee and Jarvis Landry are about the same. DeAndre Hopkins and Darren Waller are about the same. So really, what it comes down to for me is just Antonio Brown and Jalen Waddle when we're comparing this whole thing. I'm going to fall on side B of this trade, actually. I will say that 45% of people chose side A here.
45% from Josh. He's saying 45% to side A in this doozy of a trade.
Yes.
Ryan, do you think the actual answer is over or under 45% that chose side A?
It's a good line. I thought you were going to go more towards the side when you said you were leaning that side. 45, that's tough. Because even if it's 45 one way or the other, it's very close. I do think people, especially this week, right? You said within 3 days, these polls.
Yep.
Darren, people love Darren Waller even more than before drafting.
That's true. I didn't know I could love him more, if we're being honest. I didn't know it was possible.
19 targets will do that.
And then Monday
that'll really do that for a tight end.
That's tough. And in a primetime game, people don't realize that has an effect.
Yeah.
They don't
Everyone's
even think
watching.
About.
Everyone's talking about it.
That is tough. I think AB has more of a perception impact on Jalen Waddle than you took in there. You said 45% took A. I am going to go under on that one, actually. I am going to lean a little bit under. I'm going to
go the other way.
I was thinking it was going to be 50-50, and then I convinced myself in the last 20 seconds that to go with the guys that I am confident in those first 3 that people were like, okay, we're going to go with them.
That's what happened to me, Ryan. That's exactly what happened to me. I was like, this is pretty close, but if I'm choosing between these 2 trades, I'm choosing side B, but it's close, so...
I probably blew it, so it's okay.
We'll see.
Ryan taking the under on Josh's guess of 45%. And John Luke, what are you doing? You taking the over or the under?
I'm playing pole perception with my friends, but I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the over. I think 50-50 was where I landed. Honestly, I was probably gonna go along that line, whichever Josh chose, unless he chose 50-50, in which case I would have just quit.
I wish I did, honestly. At this point, I just wish I did.
Yeah, I think Najee Harris didn't. He didn't have a great line that game, so I could see some people panicking there. I don't know if Reddit is usually reactionary. I feel like Twitter is usually a little more reactionary. But man, I feel like Waller alone is gonna really just boost the vote here. So I'm gonna go over.
JL taking the over, and I don't know why this just reminded me. All this talk of Reddit. One, it is a good resource for football. It's a good reminder that there's fantasy football outside of just Twitter fantasy football. It's not just Twitter. But I saw a tweet the other day that said, if you ever want an ego check, go post any of your writing on the fantasy football Reddit, and they will just rip you to shreds. So if anyone is feeling a little cocky, maybe that's what we need to do. And then
one of my best friends, he was just hanging out over my house the other day. He was like, yeah, so why aren't you guys on Reddit? He's a big Reddit guy. He loves his Reddit,
We used to be big on Reddit.
He found some of the old posts.
Really?
Yeah, he did. But he loves Reddit. He's all about it. And so maybe I'll ask him his opinion on this.
There you go.
After the show.
We had some guesses from the chat for this one. Anthony coming in with 50%, Kev saying 47%, and Anthony also saying AKA F this poll. That's what 50% means. That just said throw his hands in the air. I don't know, 50%. Jurassic Scoop saying 52%, and Albert in here saying 60%. Well, and Kev just with some front yard fantasy sunglasses.
They look so bad. It's so cool.
Confession, I thought those were just missing pixels the first time he put it up there, and now it's so much cooler. I was looking at it without my glasses.
We ended the stream, and Simon's like, yeah,
like, why do Kevin's look different than the other ones?
I didn't realize they were sunglasses.
Joey saying, I've done 2 Reddit AMAs, and it is a great exercise in thickening of skin.
Yeah.
If you need some practice getting thicker skin.
It was a good place to start out, because you really just learn not to
take your lumps if you start on Reddit. Yeah, that's 100% true. Okay, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose side A in this poll is 46%.
Yes!
46%. So, Josh,
let's go.
You were 1 percentage point away. So
couldn't even get it exactly on. What a loser.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, man. I'll take that all day. Reddit, thank you.
Reddit, thank you. Reddit's like, we'll give you that one. But don't come asking for more.
Well. We were all saying
100%.
Around 50%. Like we all felt like this was a very even trade, and that's kind of what it turned out to be. If we guessed 50%, we would have gotten 5 points.
I also thought that Waddle part 2, people, if it was like a couple days ago before that weird Will Fuller news came out, like I think it was yesterday and today, people would have been like, Will Fuller coming back. Also, Waddle had a decent game. AB had a great game. That's where I thought really the difference, but not enough for me. So.
Couldn't agree more. That's really where it separates for me. Is the comparing Jalen Waddle to Antonio Brown. I am taking Antonio Brown in redraft. Yeah.
For me, the differentiator is Darren Waller. It's a positional advantage.
Well, that size lost.
It's the positional advantage to any other player in this trade. Like he's the one that's the least replaceable in my mind. Like I understand DeAndre Hopkins and all these other players, but Darren Waller is the least replaceable player in your roster in my mind. So I would lean side A because the rest of it is fairly equal.
Let me say this real fast. The side B has, in my mind, the 2 best receivers. So you're giving up 2 really stud receivers there, in side B. So something to consider. You're getting Jalen Waddle and Jarvis, but
yeah, I totally get that.
I digress.
So, guys, I had a question for you. Speaking of Darren Waller, something I wanted to know. I saw some rumblings about it on Reddit. After his 19 targets, the insane target share that Darren Waller had, who would you rather have on your roster rest of season in redraft? Travis Kelce or Darren Waller? Is it still Kelce, or was that enough to move you guys to the Darren Waller side?
Get out of here, Simon. It's Travis Kelce.
It's Kelce.
Still Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
I agree. It's Kelce, and I love Waller, but I saw some rumblings that if he's going to get that kind of target share all season, there's an argument to be made that Waller could finish higher than Kelce this year. But I'm still going Kelce until proven otherwise.
I feel like I could totally read Simon's mind right there, and he's like, all right, if any of them say Waller, I'm in on it. But then we were all like Kelce. He's like, no, I agree too, guys. It's Kelce.
No, I am firm in my convictions. I love Darren Waller, but I also love Travis Kelce.
If he gets 19 targets for the next 6 weeks, we can have a conversation.
I'm going to tell you guys, my favorite fantasy teams, I've got 2 of them, are the ones where I have Darren Waller and Travis Kelce on the same team.
I bet after that week.
You're screw yourself.
Those are my favorite teams right now. They looked a little icky. Yeah, they looked a little icky leaving the draft because of my running back depth, but man, did they do well in week 1. Anthony said Kelce greater than Waller. I agree. At this point, it seems like everyone here is still agreeing with that. And Austin has a question for us. James Robinson or Nyheim Hines as his second running back in PPR this week? Hines versus the Rams, Robinson versus the Broncos. Do any of you guys have a strong opinion on this one? Is it a clear answer?
James Robinson is the clear answer for me over Nyheim Hines. He's the starter for me. I know Carlos Hyde got more rushes. I think James Robinson's going to be even more involved this week. I know some people are down on James Robinson, and Nyheim Hines just had a good week. But it's James Robinson for me. I am predicting a comeback week for James Robinson.
It's not It's not so far off for me as Josh is making it seem. It is James Robinson, but I have them back to back in rankings. So I'm honestly, I'm fine with either.
Yeah, I'm more of almost 50-50 split, honestly, than even closer to that. They're both playing good defenses, good run defenses. I think that's going to tilt the Colts to, if anything, not use Taylor as much rather than not use Hines. Yeah. Robinson, I think it's some bad weather going to be there. Maybe that helps Robinson get more carry share there. But I don't know. I think I'm like 50-50. I'd probably end up going Robinson just because, like, you know what? Last second change. 12:59 before the games go. I go Robinson.
So. Ryan, what you said was exactly what I was going to say. I think the game script for the Colts benefits Nyheim Hines. And so while most weeks I would likely start Robinson, this week I'm fully comfortable starting Hines over him. I would go Hines in this case, especially in a PPR league. And then, like you said, the bad weather. James Robinson got a lot of his points last week through the air. He was actually quite active in the receiving game. So if it's a bad weather game, I don't know if we're going to be seeing as much receiving work for him either. So I'll go Hines, but it is very close. I don't think you can go wrong, or both are equally as wrong.
Even in a bad weather game, though, it's not that hard to complete like a 5-yard pass to the side.
You're right. And Anthony just piling on, guys, acting like I just follow the crowd. Kelsey greater than Waller. I agree because everyone else said Kelsey first.
Simon does love both. I'm giving him a hard time, but he is equally in love with both of them.
I'm more in love with Darren Waller.
There you
from
go.
A personal perspective, but from a fantasy perspective, it's still Travis Kelsey. We'll just get that out there to start. So that is the end of the first round, guys. All of you have answered one question. After one round, Josh, with your excellent guess, you are in the lead with 7 points. John Luke, you have 5 points, and Ryan, you have 3. But this is still a close game. There's only a 4-point difference between last and first, so it is still anybody's game.
It's a close one.
I got some ground to make up.
Are you ready for your next question?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, Ryan. So this is a PPR redraft league. Okay. Side A is Brian Edwards. Side B is Michael Pittman Jr. What percentage of people would prefer Brian Edwards rest of season over Michael Pittman Jr.?
Let me tell you guys something. I am a huge Brian Edwards fan, so I'm not trying to be biased. It's perception. It's not my take. It's perception.
Me too, Ryan. It sounds like we are the fans of a lot of very similar people, by the way. Just got to throw that out there. I don't know.
So, it's just tough because, man, that's tough. I think the primetime aspect has a huge play into it. But that also helps Pittman because, like, he had a bad week, but people also didn't see him have a bad week. They just saw a number and they're like, all right, great. He's like, I don't know. It's a weird effect on it, but I think it leans Pittman, but or did lean Pittman. I think it still does slightly. So I'm gonna go side A. Oh man, this is painful. This is really it's painful for me. I don't want to say this side leans Pittman because Edwards had everything in one drive. So some people see it as a big pro, some see it as a big con. I don't know. Twitter, who knows what's going on there. I'm gonna go 43% chose Brian Edwards.
43% chose Brian Edwards. Falling on the Pittman side of this trade. John Luke, do you think the actual answer is over or under Ryan's guess of 43% for Brian Edwards?
I'm going to take the over. I think he nailed the analysis right with Brian Edwards was not really a factor in this game until the end. But man, was he a factor in the end? And everyone was watching, or everyone who stayed up to watch that game was watching. And I feel like that's just going to stick in people's minds because he made some really good plays. I'm going to take the over.
John Luke taking the over. Josh, what about you? Over or under 43%?
I have a lot of trouble with this one. You guys know I'm a Brian Edwards fan. Going into the season, Michael Pittman would have been the obvious choice. No one would even have thought of taking Brian Edwards. And after 1 week, have things changed that much? I mean, like you said, Ryan, Brian Edwards got one drive where he got 4 catches. Michael Pittman had 3 catches or so. Not a very good game for him. I don't know. I guess I'll take the. Everyone watched that game, so I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
Josh taking the under, saying less than 43% of the people chose Brian Edwards. So we've got
but
Ryan.
like 4 catches like that. You say that's it without a touchdown. PPR. He says PPR. He gets he probably ends up with 8 to 10 points, whatever the yardage ended up being. It's not like outrageously good either. It's not like he had 20 points and Pittman still had a couple grand. I don't know.
Exactly. So that's you split us though. You split us again.
Maria.
And JL was right last time, and so we'll see. We'll see.
Maria cheering you on with that one, Ryan. Okay,
especially on my side.
We had some guesses in the chat. Anthony coming in with 50%. Also F this poll. And Albert saying 64%. So he's on the Brian Edwards side of this one.
Not great.
The actual percentage of people that chose Brian Edwards over Michael Pittman Jr. in a redraft league is 57%. It is 57%.
My
so
God.
Joshua.
Ryan, you were within 15 percentage points, so you still get 1 point. You were within the scoring range. And John Luke, you get an additional 2 for correctly picking the over-under, bringing JL to 7 points and Ryan up to 4 points. So the gap is closing, Josh. They're catching up on you.
The gap is officially closed. There's no gap between Josh and
well, there's a gap. There's
no gap. We're face to face.
Ryan's still got to cut.
I'm
just gonna say it. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
We have Maria's energy. I'm gonna
Maria's got
the game. So
the pro Ryan energy.
Maria definitely wants you to win. There's no doubt in my mind.
And Maria said I should have sent it SMH. I'm guessing she had an answer. You know what, Maria? If you don't send it and then send it after, then you can be right 100% of the time.
The Scott Fish method. It works.
Scott Fish method. It works 100% of the time.
He's the only one who's been able to execute on it, though.
So guys, can I bring this up real fast? Are you guys choosing Brian Edwards over Michael Pittman Jr.? Personally, because I'm still taking Michael Pittman, and I'm a big Brian Edwards fan, but I don't know. I think there's not a world where Brian Edwards is the number 1 target for this team. There's just not one without Darren Waller getting hurt.
Are you talking redraft still?
Yeah, redraft.
Yeah, PPR.
There's just not a world. And then with Michael Pittman, we don't know who the number 1. I mean, I know he didn't have a good week 1. I think Carson Wentz still has some stuff to figure out with that offense. Exactly. So I think I'm still taking Michael Pittman.
So for me, while I agree with the points you just made, and I love Darren Waller, I don't think there's a world where he gets 19 targets a game. For the rest of the season. He's not going to average 19 targets a game for the rest of the season. And those are going to have to go somewhere. And they saw what they got from it was just one drive, but Brian Edwards did show some really promising things on that drive. I think he's going to get more involved in this offense. So while I would take Pittman, I don't think it's preposterous to take Edwards, to take your shot on him. He had some high upside plays. He showed why people have been excited about him in that one drive in that game. So I get it. I'm still on the Pittman side, but I totally get the taking Edwards here.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a bit of an overreaction from the Twitter sphere, but that's it happens every year, especially this year with fantasy. People are overreacting about Niners running backs, about this, about that, about everybody, about Waller. People might think he's the best player in the league, but that's tough. It is really tough. I do like Edwards, especially talent wise, but that was a good point you made about Pittman having the opportunity to be the number 1 target and Edwards never having that opportunity, but a culture, a team that are run heavy, and the Raiders are going to be throw heavy, I think, especially without Jacobs at this point. So I didn't really take that into consideration either.
So you would take Brian Edwards over Michael Pittman?
I didn't answer the question, did I? Yeah.
I do that all the time. I'm great at just talking and not answering anything. So I get it.
I would probably I'll take Edwards 51, 49% if I had to split myself up, but I could be.
You're sitting there on the draft board right now. If you had to do another redraft league right now, you're taking Brian Edwards.
Right. The clock would tick down and be like, quick, make your pick. And I'd be like, Brian Edwards.
Those are the picks that show who you are as a person. When there's 1 second left, you're like, okay, Brian Edwards. There's
and then Michael Pittman goes off the pick after. And you're like, I was just debating between Brian Edwards and Michael Pittman. It's a good pick. Friend.
John Luke, what about you? Are you taking Edwards or Pittman rest of season and redraft?
The analyst side of me is going to take Pittman here. But my heart's saying Edwards. I mean, he looked fantastic, and I completely agree with your guys' take here that he's going to get more involved. But I'm taking Pittman.
I probably have Brian Edwards in half my fantasy leagues. He's probably my most owned player, literally, because he was going so late. He was going so freaking late. So I'm fine with it.
Pippen fell at times also. I found like he was quite sought after, not like crazy. I have multiple leagues where I have both of them, so you don't have to make this decision.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You get
although start Sid, that's another story.
that's a there. Yeah, that's a whole nother fight.
Those are the questions that people that watch like to come in and ask. Like, who would you start this week, Edwards or Pittman? It's never like Edwards or
CMC.
CMC. Know what I mean? It's always like these guys like this. Makes sense.
Edwards, definitely.
Anthony
Edwards.
in here saying Simon should be a Raiders fan. You know what? They do have my favorite jerseys in the NFL and some of my favorite players. I pull for them as long as they're not playing the Browns. And he said he even has a silver and black hat, but this is not a Raiders hat. But we can pretend. We can play pretend here.
You like the Raiders jerseys in general, or a specific one?
Just in general, I think they have like the cleanest jerseys in the NFL. I think
cool jerseys. I mean,
I
like the silver. Yeah.
You like a specific one?
You like the white one?
I like the white color rush is incredible. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
Agreed. I just think they've got the best jerseys. I love black as a team color. I don't think enough teams utilize black as a team color.
Love the Ravens wearing their all blacks.
Yes,
all black uniform.
Yep.
Oh, they look so good. So
agreed.
Nice too.
Agreed.
I was ecstatic when the Jets. I'm a Jets fan, for the record.
Okay.
When they added the black jersey, I was like, "Oh my god, let's go!" We never had them before, and my whole family was like, "They're not that great." I'm like, "What?
Doesn't
They're
matter.
awesome. They're fantastic."
That's my move every time in Madden. Is all black. If I get the team all black jersey, perfect.
Oh yeah.
All right. John Luke, are you ready for your next poll?
Lay it on me.
Caught up. You are now tied for first place, and we are coming with your next poll.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
This is a dynasty trade. Side A is a 2022 first. Side B is Elijah Mitchell. What percentage of people chose the 2022 first side of this trade?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like Elijah Mitchell's dynasty value is quite up to a first level. So I'm going to go with 71%.
71% from John Luke, saying 71% of the people would prefer a first over Elijah Mitchell. Josh, what do you think? Is the actual answer over or under 71%?
I couldn't give up a 2022 first for Elijah Mitchell. I had written down 72%.
Hey,
so this sucks. This really sucks. I think you put a good line on there, JL. I think you put a great line on there. But I have to take the over, simply because my guess was slightly over, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't trade a 2022 first for Elijah Mitchell. We don't even know if he's going to be the guy there. If we knew that, that's a different story. He probably won't be next year. Give me the first.
Yeah. Another one. So now there's two reasons for math purposes to take the under, because one, I have to make up ground, and two, it makes sense. But playing the game is one thing, and when I actually think, I agree with you 100%. We're like, you don't even know if Elijah Mitchell is going to be the guy this week, let alone next year. I feel like it has to be over. I'm going over. It has to be over, or otherwise people are like, he played a half a game, 3/4 of one game.
And you look great.
Yet. I'm not saying he didn't.
Great.
But you know how the Niners work. Kyle Shanahan is going to give him 5 carries, and then Trey Sermon's going to get 12, and then Jermichael Hasty, and then Trent Cannon's going to come in.
Jeff
and then,
Wilson's coming back.
Exactly. I'm going over. Yeah.
We got double overs. Ryan said, screw math. I'm going with my heart, taking the over here.
Just trying to lose at this point.
When has math ever helped you?
Jail's locked in at 71% and double overs from the other two. Anthony said 60%. Kathy, Jail's mom saying 64%. Albert saying 75%. And the right Tim saying between 68 and 70%. So some may say 69.
How many points does he get for that?
And Joey saying 88%. And Maria with the guess of 70%.
Good guess, Maria. Good guess. Good answer. Good answer.
Let's go with Joey's guess.
Anthony said you guys are underestimating the Twitter rage, I think.
So so I'm assuming Anthony means like that people are just like buying hella into like Elijah
rage
right
on Elijah Mitchell. I don't know.
Is that I
think it's the rage about Sermon. Like it's the Sermon rage manifesting itself through Elijah Mitchell love is what I would guess, but I don't know.
Okay. A lot of ways to interpret this, Joey.
It could be more like
Anthony. Sorry.
People might take for the future also, but they also like people want current, like Dynasty is Dynasty. It's forever. Obviously, it's the future, but man, there's a percentage of people out there that are like, I want to win now. I want the best player now. And that they see him as an opportunity to be a league winner this year. So that's probably a good 20 to 30% of it could be, a good 20 to 30% of the people.
It absolutely could be. It absolutely could be. With my first personally, I'm trying to package that first with a lesser player, Elijah Mitchell type, maybe even to get an actual stud that I know is going to be good for years to come. Personally.
Fair.
Yep. Okay, guys, the percentage of people that ended up choosing the 2022 first side of this trade is 93%.
Wow.
93% chose the 2022 first side of this trade. So JL, your high yes wasn't high enough. You get 0 points. You were more than 15 percentage points away. Ryan and Josh, you guys each get an additional 2 points for correctly picking the over/under. Josh bringing you up to 9 points, and Ryan bringing you up
Let's
to
talk about
6.
that gap, JL. Let's talk about it. Yeah, how's it looking now?
It's not looking good. It's
not
favorable.
I'm going to
talking
get
so
crap
soon
if I lose this.
I've noticed a lot of things about Twitter and Reddit, especially Twitter. Now they're not as reactionary as I would think, which is very good to hear. So, maybe it makes it a little easier for us going forward.
Off season once or twice, and then I think you'll figure some of this reactionary stuff out.
Yeah, fair.
The off season is pure reaction. The off season polls were nothing but reactionary. It seems to have gotten a little bit calmer now. Joey Wright saying, "Ayo, you were the closest guesser, Joey. So nice job on that one with his guess of 88%. You're the only one with the cojones to go that high. So props to you over there."
The only one that deserves a shout out, really. What's up? Hey,
Josh, we've got one more poll that's going to be coming your way before we go into our final poll. So if you're ready, I think we go ahead and give you that one.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay. This is pure coincidence that you're a Ravens fan, and we're talking about a Ravens player here. It just happened that you jumped in. So this is a half PPR redraft league. Side A is Tyson Williams. Side B is Cortland Sutton. What percentage of people said they would prefer Tyson Williams rest of season?
I hate this. I really hate this. Okay, so let's just mention the fact that it's a running back versus a wide receiver. The running back scarcity is going to push the running back up a little bit, just in the overall scheme of things. Cortland Sutton is a much better talent. If we're just talking about pure talent, Cortland Sutton's that. The Broncos are missing Jerry Jeudy now. We're only going to see more volume for Cortland Sutton going forward. And the Ravens just came out with like John Harbaugh just said, and both John Harbaugh and offense coordinator Greg Roman recently made comments about how they want to get all these running backs involved. So what did I come up with?
Where does that leave us?
So, in summation,
so it's a redraft league. Tyson Williams had a good week 1. Cortland Sutton, a very disappointing week 1. I'm just coming up with even now. I'm coming up with 50%. The more and more I think about it, I'll go slightly more on the. Oh my God, I'll go slightly more on the Cortland Sutton side of this. I think. No, he's a running back. It's a redraft league. Oh man, I'll go 49%.
Ooh,
49%.
49% from Josh. Ryan, do you think the actual percentage of people that chose Tyson Williams in this poll is over or under Josh's guess of 49%?
I am a Cortland Sutton fan. It's tough because that running back premium or whatever you want, premium value on it is definitely there. Latavius has an effect. People saw Latavius get reps. So with that said, I have no idea. People saw Latavius get reps, and I expected Lamar to run more, if anything. I actually think it's going to lean slightly on the Tyson side. So I'm going to go over because 49 makes it easy for me in that sense that I'm convinced myself that it's Tyson Williams. So I'm going to go over.
Ryan taking the over. John Luke, what about you?
Oh God, this is going to screw me. This is going to screw me. I'm taking the under. Jerry Jeudy getting hurt. All the news coming out this week that Tyson Williams is not going to be the main guy. It's not going to be like last game. I really hope Twitter is reasonable in this one, but probably not. So I'm going to go under.
right.
John Luke taking the under on this poll. We had some guesses in the chat. Anthony coming in with 56%. Albert saying 42%. And Joey coming in with 41%. So 156.
Fine with all those guesses.
42.
Man, Josh
41.
got two nice and easy.
You know it's
close to
you know it's
50-50 ones.
You know it's close to 50 exactly.
You don't
It's
know.
how the
The first one was not an obvious close to 50, even though we kind of always said it.
Yeah, it was like 40. Didn't you guess 45 and you were 46 or something? Or was that a different one?
46. That's what the one was. Yeah.
That was the 8-player trade.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, the actual percentage of people that chose Tyson Williams in this trade over Cortland Sutton is 41%.
Ooh, wow.
It is 41%. Joey nailed it exactly on
Wow,
the
Joey.
dot. And Albert only
got a
1 percentage
game
point
here.
away. So we had some great guesses there. 41%, 42%. And I don't know what. Oh, Tim said Jory. Oh no, I don't know what any of that means.
I don't know what that
Joey.
means.
He said Joey.
Joey should take my spot. Oh my god.
Joey said, I like Jory. So his name is now Jory.
We now
Wet.
call him the
You
Jory
take
Wright.
the R out of his last name. It's just Wet. You replace the
If
sound.
we're being honest, Ryan, Joey should probably take all our spots. You know, like,
Finding Jory.
Josh, since this was your poll, I'm going to come to you first. So we talked,
Please do.
I think, a bit more about Cortland Sutton there, but you guys mentioned Latavius Murray seeing some work. Are you
Yes.
worried about Tyson Williams rest of season with all of the other running backs in that running back room? Do you think this is the time to trade him?
I don't know if it's time to trade him. It depends what you can get. That's always the cop out answer, right? I am worried about Tyson Williams. I really am. Latavius Murray, Devonta Freeman, these guys are all going to get work. I expect Le'Veon Bell to get some work at some point even. Tyson Williams looked good, a lot better than Latavius Murray, just his ass just running against the offensive line like for 2 yards a carry. But so I think Tyson Williams looked better than Murray. So in that regard, I'm excited for him. I do think he'll be the leading fantasy scorer as a running back for the Ravens. But what does that really mean when all these guys are splitting it so much? He's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. You're never going to know. You're never going to know when to start him. But he is a playable, flex-worthy option at the moment.
So which side would you prefer in this trade? Williams or
Cortland
Sutton?
Sutton.
Cortland
Cortland
Sutton.
Sutton. But I mean, again, it is true that there's so many good wide receivers out there and a lot less good running backs. So I could see a person. This trade makes a lot of sense to me.
Makes sense. John Luke, which side of this are you taking? Tyson Williams or Cortland Sutton?
Oh, give me the Cortland Sutton side. I'm concerned about Tyson Williams. He definitely looked the best, but he also had the luxury of playing in that offense the longest out of, between him and Latavius Murray. What they're saying, like, that's not, to me, the confidence that I want to hear from my coaching staff after Tyson Williams has that type of game. When he has that type of game, I don't want to hear the coaching staff say, yeah, this is the last time you're going to see, one running back get a bulk of the carries. Cortland Sutton, on the other hand, has the opportunity to showcase his talent, which we know he has in that offense. Teddy Bridgewater looked good. I'm going Cortland Sutton side here.
Ryan, what about you? Cortland Sutton or Tyson Williams rest of the season?
I think I lean Cortland Sutton for sure. I was a fan of his even with Judy, honestly. That didn't prove well last week, but going forward for sure. I do think, based on what you said before about trading, like, I'm a big trader. I see the trading is fun sign too. All for that. I like to find trade every week. Always make the team better. Always go for it. But I think Tyson Williams is a great trade piece for someone who needs a running back. I stayed away from the Ravens running backs even when Dobbins was the guy. I was just like, you know what?
Shut your mouth, Ryan.
I was like, in fantasy, I was like, I'm going to let everyone else take it. I'd rather not get eaten up by Lamar's carries. The same thing with the Cardinals running backs. Like, Edmonds is a different story. He's a pure receiving running back. But similar in that sense, he's a good trade piece because someone will want him and need him. And I'd rather have Cortland Sutton is the answer.
Cortland
I've got
Sutton.
something to say to you, Ryan. J.K. Dobbins.
I'm not saying that J.K. I have a bunch of his rookie cards all in these boxes. So I like him as a player, a talent. Fantasy, I was like,
I'm
second round pick.
with you completely, Ryan.
Ryan
I love
hates
everything
J.K.
you
Dobbins.
just said,
Quote it.
especially the trading thing. I think I might love you. So just saying that. Just saying that. I think I'm in love.
Hey, say anything bad about Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman, and I'm coming for your head. All right.
That's it.
Oh no! Well, you might
Well,
want to check out.
Josh
JL
has been
our
high on
tape.
Tevin.
JL was probably like the world's biggest Tevin Coleman truther for like 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah,
there,
in
like,
Atlanta when he was in Atlanta.
was just like so bought in.
I traded Austin Eckler to Tim for Tevin Coleman, which is like my worst trade to date.
So you
But he
guys
was the
are
receiving
something
guy, right? At the time?
Yeah,
When-
yeah.
when
And he
Devontae
was
Freeman,
about
yeah.
it. He had like one more year left on his contract, and then he was going to go to a new team and be the 3-down back, and it just did not come to fruition at all.
No.
And now he's on the Jets.
And
they're
now
running back
Austin,
by-
Austin Eckler turned out to be a boss. So yeah,
Yeah.
really goofed on that one.
Absolutely. But that's okay. Guys, we are done with the first 2 rounds. We only have the last round left. Going into the final round, Josh has a lead with 12 points. JL, you've got 9, and Ryan, you've got 6. So Ryan, you can still win, but you have to get this last poll exactly right.
Oh,
Spot
On the
on.
dot. If
On
you
the
get this
dot.
spot on, you are the winner.
And
Rickson,
Ryan,
yo,
let
I'm
me just
waiting.
mention this real fast. You can get it just the closest out of all of us and come in second, which is just as good. You know, I get to win.
We'll
you
go
get to
for
beat
gold.
JL.
We'll go for
Don't
gold.
do it.
Oh.
Don't do
Oh,
it.
no,
Don't do
no,
it.
no. sorry. I do guys. Digress.
What's up, Rick? Welcome in. What'd you miss? Josh
Anthony
made
recaps
lots
are
of
pretty good.
faces.
We guess
Anthony said-
numbers. None of them very close, but
Yep.
It said
Ryan and I
recap
have a
Josh
game
and Ryan.
plan.
We're watching
they've got
Spider-Man. Yeah.
yeah, that's the only movie we have.
Let's go.
It's
It's
the,
the
the
old-
old Spider-Man, not
Yeah,
the new one.
the Tobey Maguire.
That's not the poll, right? Because
Yeah,
we're
you're
gonna have a
watching-
long. We don't have that much time. I don't know. That's a
We
long.
can't get
That's a
into
long
that.
conversation. I'm ready to have about Tom Holland. Whole nother story.
Next show, Ryan.
We'll get
Next
into
show,
it.
we
We'll
will
talk to
we'll
Daddy
start with
FanDuel if we
Spider-Man
can
next
get-
time.
Get some time.
Guys, we are onto our last poll. All 3 of you guys are going to be guessing a number on this one. Ryan, do you happen to have pen and paper handy?
I got it.
Okay, perfect. I
It's
forgot to
tradition
mention it
for us
again.
not to tell you. I thought about it before the show, but I figured why ruin our tradition of like
Awkwardly
Yeah,
looking for paper.
exactly.
Guys,
Why ruin that?
We're all good.
So for this last poll, you guys have about a minute to come up with your answers. Everyone's going to write a number down. Whoever's closest gets 5 points, unless you nail it right on the head, and then you will get 10. So this is your last poll. This is a PPR Dynasty League. Side A is Joe Mixon plus a 2023 first. Side B is Saquon Barkley plus a 2022 second. What percentage of people chose the Mixon side of this trade?
Oh no. Screw this.
It sucks.
This
Oh my
sucks
God.
so much.
There's
I
so
don't
much so much downside to this poll.
Can I ask when this was posted?
This poll was posted 2 days ago.
Okay.
So before last night.
yeah.
before
So
last
we
night.
got a
This poll was
combination. Well, we
posted
got a
2 days ago.
combination. Do you know when it ended by any chance? Sorry. That's
The
probably too
next
much.
day, 1 day ago. It ended before
Before the game.
Yep. So
Okay.
this was a poll that occurred before the game.
That does.
So
mean
yes,
something.
after Mixon performing and Saquon not performing.
So you guys got about 30 more seconds to come up with your
Okay.
answers. Go ahead and get them written
I don't know
down,
what
and
to-
then I'll
I
have
don't
you
know what to
reveal
do.
them one by
I have
one.
no idea what to do.
Chose side A.
Do.
Can we give a 10-second warning when you get a chance? I'm coming down and I'm like sitting here like this, not ready or anything.
Listen. I feel you're right. I'm right there with you. Oh God.
Tim's in here
I'm a
cheering
Joe
for you,
Mixon
Ryan.
fan. That's the problem.
Tim wants you to nail it. And Maria said Tom Holland, chef's kiss. So I don't know which side of that you lean on, but Maria
Tobey
in here
Maguire,
supporting the
chef's
Tom
kiss.
Holland side. Okay, guys, where are we at?
Just
Baltimore.
writing down numbers that make no sense.
Are we gonna take so long? I have to actually bring up Andrew Garfield as well. Like, is that where we're gonna go with this?
No.
The amazing Spider-Man.
No.
The forgettable Spider-Man.
The forgettable Spider-Man. While we're waiting, Batismo in here saying thanks for watching the stream. So thanks for the reminder, Bot. If you guys have not already, go ahead and like this video if you're on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, and follow FanDuel on Twitch. There's a bunch of awesome content creators putting out content that's going to help you win your leagues and win some money. So make sure you guys are following the FanDuel social channels, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. I see some contemplative faces.
I'm ready.
I'm good.
Ryan dropped
I'm
the
good.
pen. He's ready.
I'm good.
Josh, are you ready?
I'm good.
And John
I
Luke.
don't know if I'm ready, but I'm good.
Okay, Ryan, you are in last place, so I'm going to come to you first. What is your guess?
So I'm not going to give an explanation, I think. I went with 39 that ended up going with. I think even before, oh, man, I even wrote down like 47 and 41. I kept crossing things out. I still think people are going to lean the Saquon side. Like in a dynasty, they have to. I would hope. Maybe not. You know what? I have wrote down 39, so I'm sticking with 39.
You guys think?
39% from Ryan, but he's questioning himself at every turn of this one. John Luke, where are you going? 41.
I've got so much room. I've got so much room,
I crossed
guys.
out 41.
Let's go.
Josh?
I changed mine twice. I started in the high 40s, and I was like, I got to get one of my 9s in. I went with 54%.
54% from Josh. So all pretty close.
Listen, I'm just thinking that even after Saquon didn't have a good game, there was the injury concerns. Joe Mixon looked great. There's
people hate Joe Mixon.
Actually, I swear I'm just realizing that it's a 2023 first and a 2022 second.
I did not notice
that. I did not realize that.
That plays in our favor. That plays in our favor.
That's good. That's good for us.
I did not notice that until right now.
It's all right. Even playing field because none of us realized
I probably would have put it at like 50%, but it's all good. 54 is good. I still got this.
Anthony's in here saying, agree, Josh. The awkward looking for paper from the guests is part of the show now. Don't ever give a warning. Do not tell them that they need paper.
It's too good now. It's too good.
We had some guesses in the chat. Tim coming in with 0%. He hates Joe Mixon. Anthony with 58%. Ricky Butts with 64.
Wow.
Albert with 51. JL's mom with 54%.
Let's go.
Good guess. Bad guess, Mom. Bad guess.
And Tim in here saying, if anybody voted for Joe Mixon, I'll drink another beer. I swear Tim is going to drink another beer. If anyone, if a single soul voted for Joe Mixon, Tim's going to drink another beer.
I got to let you know, Tim's most likely going to drink another beer either way.
And Maria coming in with 50 and Joey saying 51%.
The answer is 51 then. Joey's been spot on all night.
Are you guys ready for the actual answer?
Yes.
Okay, the actual percentage of people that chose. I got the comments. I was going to put it up there. Give me a break.
Just
you stop.
Tell us the answer already.
That was on you. The number of people, the percentage of people that chose the Mixon side of this trade is 68%. 68% chose Mixon in the first over Saquon Barkley.
3 votes. That's why. 3 votes.
No, there was 570 votes on this poll.
30 less than the threshold.
I'll fight you. But 68% of people chose the Joe Mixon and the first side of this. I'm guessing the draft pick did enough to push it on the Mixon side. But Josh,
I'm guessing no one read that it was 2023 when they picked
we didn't see it, so why would they?
Yeah.
Got to do my victory spin.
Tim says, oh no, he's going to have to drink another beer. And Rick in here saying Mixon's great week 1 plus the early hype for the 2023 draft class was his reasoning. He doesn't agree with it though. So Rick was the closest with his guess of 64% up there. So nice job, Rick. And Josh, that means you are our champion for today. Congrats on winning.
This chair
went wild
all day. I'll tell you, like
it just keeps on going. It's not a Herman Millar, but it's a good spinner is what's going on over there.
Exactly.
We're going full circle with office chairs now at this point, guys. Everyone who watched and played along, thank you so much. And if you have not had enough of us yet, it's a quick reminder that on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live on the FanDuel, Twitch, and YouTube channels with a Sunday night recap of all of that day's games. And a look at that Sunday night football game as well. So make sure you guys are tuned in Sunday at 7 p.m. for our Sunday night recap of those days' games. And Ryan, thank you so much, my man, for coming on and playing with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks y'all for having me. 1. 2, yeah, I'm gonna need some revenge at some point.
Oh yeah, you're coming back up.
I'm acclimated to my settings and stuff, but it's okay. I'll get next time. I didn't perform as well as Maria and everyone wanted me to, but that's okay. I'll come back next time, and I appreciate you guys having me on. It was a good time.
It's all about the redemption arc. So it makes the victory that much sweeter. We really appreciate it, Ryan.
And we definitely want you on again, Ryan.
Yes, absolutely.
Good vibes. Good vibes. This has worked very well.
You get 10 points, Ma.
You definitely get point.
You get a point. You get a point for sure. And Anthony hyped about the victory spin and saying this show is great. It had comedy, tragedy, and even some romance. Everything.
It actually did.
Oh, what a great Friday afternoon. On that
what has
note,
FanDuel gotten themselves into? My lord.
Well, on that note, trading makes fantasy fun, right, Ryan?
There it is.
Ryan knows what's up.
Trading is the best part of it. It's fantasy football. It's called fantasy for a reason. Make trades. That's what I like to say.
Here we go.
I do love you. All right, let's go.
And then we talk Spider-Man. Next time we're talking Spider-Man. That's the cliffhanger to keep you coming back whenever Ryan comes back on. We're going to have some Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire talk next time. But guys, that is it for us today. We will see all of you on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Monday, we'll be back with our regular show, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube and Twitch channel. So make sure you tune in there too. Until then, guys, we're out of here. Enjoy your weekend football.
Woo! Love you guys.